Rudy Giuliani just came out with a video detailing of what they found out about the voter fraud. In this video, I'm going to detail what he said in that video. 2024 election meddling, what Rudy Giuliani shared so far. The majority of vote counting is done outside the United States. For example, Michigan, Arizona, and Georgia have their votes counted outside the United States. Vote counting calculations are handled by a company called Dominion, which owns the voting machines. They have a reputation of incompetence of voting, of counting votes. Excuse me. The kicker is Dominion doesn't actually count the votes as well. Dominion has a contract with a company called Smartmatic. Smartmatic has locations in Frankfurt, Germany. You may know that as the location where the servers were seized, and Barcelona, Spain. According to Giuliani, when the votes were being calculated, the data was mainly sent to servers in Frankfurt, Germany. Some calculations may have been made in Barcelona as well. The voting machines are extremely vulnerable to hacking and manipulation. And Giuliani then detailed a history of Smartmatic. Creation origin date 2004 2005, sometime around that time. Founded by two Venezuelans with close ties to the dictator of Venezuela at the time, Hugo Chavez. Smartmatic was founded with the specific purpose of fixing elections. Hugo Chavez used Smartmatic to stay in power. Smartmatic is responsible for counting votes in 27 U.S. states, according to Giuliani, of what they have so far, the data. Smartmatic has a history of election fraud in the U.S. Giuliani cites the Sequoia case, and Sequoia was bought by Smartmatic in March 2005. In June 2005, Chicago implemented voting technology from Sequoia voting systems. In May 2006, Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney, Democrat from New York, first raised questions about Smartmatic with the then Treasury Secretary Snow, inquiring whether the deal for Sequoia had undergone a Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States investigation, a CFIUS investigation. July 2006, Treasury acknowledged that it had initially contacted Smartmatic, although a CFIUS investigation was not underway at the time. October 2006, Smartmatic announced that it was undergoing a CFIUS investigation. December 2006, Smartmatic announced it was withdrawing from the CFIUS review and selling Sequoia. Sequoia was a front for Smartmatic in 2005, the same way Dominion is a front for Smartmatic now in the 2020 election. A little typo. And how Giuliani and the rest of Trump's administration found out about the voting fraud. Smartmatic algorithm spreads out voting fraud across an area. For example, this is just an example that he gave, New York City. And in the New York City example, the algorithm would spread 50,000 votes across the entire city. Let me just do that. Resulting roughly a 2 to 3% margin of victory for whoever is programmed to win. Now, this is just an example, just a very general example. The details he didn't really give, but you get the gist. And here's what they found. Voting discrepancies found in Antrim County, Michigan. Smartmatic switched 6,000 votes from Trump to Biden. In 2016, Trump won this county by a large margin. Giuliani claims to have very good leads, but also concedes that they may not get many because the software is good at hiding its tracks. Hugo Chavez wanted the software to hide the voter fraud in Venezuela to make sure that they can't find anything fraudulent so he can get elected and stay in power. So that's what the Democrats are using today. The Smartmatic algorithm also warns its users if their selected winner is losing or going to lose live. Giuliani cites November 3rd, election night 2020, as an example of this. We all remember what happened in the middle of the night. Trump was winning by very large margins in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, North Carolina, etc. And then all of a sudden, the vote counting stopped in the middle of the night. They had to stop the vote counting because the Smartmatic algorithm, they allege, was not programmed to handle the extremely large surge of votes for Trump. So Democrats had to resort to mail in ballots as their plan B. Giuliani calls the vote recounts are meaningless since the envelopes for mail in ballots were illegally thrown out in some states. In Michigan, there was a lot of overvotes. That means over 100% of a district votes, which is mathematically impossible. The overvote votes need to be thrown out. Giuliani stated that he doesn't know how, in good conscience, in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, and in Georgia, election officials could certify fraudulent voting results. I mean, we all remember what happened in Michigan. Yeah, I forget which county, but two Republicans in a vote decided not to certify the results, and then hours later, after constant threats to them and their families, they decided to certify the results, which is just totalitarian. Giuliani stated that the vote count as of today, November 18th, 2020, is completely fraudulent. Thousands of ballots were counted in secret by only Democrats and inspected by only Democrats, are in violation of the U.S. Constitution. Democrats carried out their voter fraud in cities that they completely control: Detroit, Michigan; Philadelphia, Pennsylvania; Milwaukee, Wisconsin; Minneapolis, Minnesota; Las Vegas, Nevada; Phoenix, Arizona; Atlanta, Georgia. These cities are responsible for voter fraud, the majority of it. Giuliani went on to question why voter fraud is happening mainly in these cities at the same time. He suggests that there had to be a central source telling the cities what to do. These are the places where Democrats can get away with voter fraud. Democrats can even use and have used sheriffs to threaten Republican election officials. Giuliani even said that the judges in these cities are corrupt. Wow, who would have thought? Giuliani calls for the illegitimate ballots to be thrown out. We should never have our votes counted in foreign countries, even friendly countries. Votes should be counted in the United States. Giuliani stated that they have discovered more than enough illegal ballots to overturn the vote in favor of President Trump. And that's all I have. Later on, I'll be listing references in the article I'm going to be making, and I'll leave a link in the description to the article, which has all the references in regards to what Giuliani cited for the Sequoia case. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, think it's helpful, please comment, like, and subscribe. And please share this video. It helps me. It really does help me, and it helps grow this channel. And with that out of the way, stay safe, everyone.